Hello everybody and welcome back to more political chatter. Today's video is just going to be Joe Biden's possible path to victory in 2024. Now I know what you're thinking. It is not going to happen, and as of right now that is true. I don't see Joe Biden winning against a Republican like Donald Trump, like Ron DeSantis, like Nikki Haley, etc. There's only a select few of Republican politicians who I see losing to Joe Biden, but it's still very interesting to look at Joe Biden's possible path to victory, the path of victory that he would have to have. This is the closest thing to a Biden victory. This is how he will win. These are the states that he needs. So obviously he needs safe Democratic states. These aren't going anywhere. In the general election, these are going to go to Joe Biden. There's no chance that they aren't. These are going to stay with him. States like Utah, Wyoming, blah blah blah. The red wall. Nebraska's second is still up for grabs. But these safe Republican states aren't going anywhere. He has no shot at winning these, so why even look at that? So these are all the safe states, and it actually has Biden ahead. So let's get into a more in-depth, kind of analysis. So really, Iowa and Ohio saying that Biden didn't come close in 2020 and he's only going to do worse in 2024. He really doesn't have a shot in Iowa and Ohio. These are sticking to the Republican Party. In a state like Florida and North Carolina, 2 states, I really don't see going to Joe Biden. African Americans will not be as energized to vote for Joe Biden as they were in 2020. Nowhere close. There won't be as much anti-Trump sentiment. We have to remember that. They turned out to vote because Donald Trump was in office. He's not in office anymore. Even if Trump runs, there won't be as much anti-Trump sentiment. So really, Florida and North Carolina, those are gone. He really doesn't have a shot in any of these. But he needs Virginia. He needs New Mexico. He needs Colorado. 3 states that he was able to win by wide margins in 2020. Most importantly, he needs the state of New Hampshire. This is a state that can go Republican, but he really needs to hang on to it. These four states, there's a Democratic base, and he can certainly win here. I think that he would win Colorado, New Mexico, and Virginia, and New Hampshire, for that matter, against Trump. But against someone like Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, I think that New Hampshire is up for grabs. But really, he needs to hang on to these 4 states, and he likely is going to hang on to at least New Mexico, Colorado, and Virginia. These, even though Virginia has a Republican governor, these are still states with a lot of Democrats, and on a presidential level, they are more likely to vote for the Democrat. And Minnesota went to Joe Biden by 9 points in 2020. This is a state that he can hang on to against Trump. They really shunned Trump. They didn't like him very much. And he definitely can hang on to it again. This is a state that's more likely to go Democratic than the state of New Hampshire. I see it going to Joe Biden even against someone as powerful as Ron DeSantis or possibly even Nikki Haley. So he really needs the state of Minnesota. So this is where things get very interesting. There are 121 electoral votes still up for grabs. So Texas is out of reach. I don't see Joe Biden being able to win the state of Texas. I really don't see it. Sure, it's shifting to the left, but 2024 will be a red wave year, and he doesn't have the power to win the state. He doesn't have the momentum. If he's an extremely popular president, I could surely see Texas going blue. Remember, in 2020, it went to Trump by 5.6 percentage points. In a popular Biden administration, this is a state that could shift 5 points, because it did shift 5 points from 2016 to 2020. So it could certainly do the same thing again in a popular administration if they get enough younger people to go out and vote. But it's not a blue wave year, it's a red wave year. So I do think that the state of Texas is out of reach. I'm also going to give Maine's 2nd congressional district to the Republican Party. Biden didn't come close here in 2020. It was expected to be competitive, but it wasn't. But Maine at large would still go to Joe Biden. And moving on to the state of Nevada, he definitely needs the state of Nevada, and I think that he could get it. Again, some people, I think that Biden is most likely to win the state of Nevada against Donald, probably not most likely, but I think that this will be a very close state in 2024 against Trump. Not so much Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis or, I don't know, Dan Crenshaw, if you will, but against Trump, this will be very competitive, and simply, it's a state that he needs to hold on to. And, alright, moving on to the state of Michigan. This is really one that will be extremely hard to get, but he needs it. It's as simple as that. The state of Michigan, he needs. It's the most liberal, it's the most democratic of the blue wall of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. In 2016, it went to Trump by the lowest margin of the blue wall, and in 2020 it went to Joe Biden by, I believe, 2.9%, the highest margin in the blue wall. So really, he needs the state of Michigan. It is extremely unlikely. I think that Trump will win. I think that Haley will win. I think that DeSantis will win it. But essentially, he needs to hang on to the state of Michigan. And he also needs the state of Arizona. He really, really, really needs the state of Arizona. And I think that it is possible against a Republican who is slightly unpopular. I think that you might, hear me out. I don't think that this is most likely, but I think that this is a possible state for him to win against Donald Trump, because remember, Trump made the comments about McCain, which, were extremely unpopular in the state of Arizona. So Arizona, he really, really, really needs to win. And let me point out that this is not an election prediction by any means. At all. Look, I have Biden and then Republican. I don't even have a candidate here. So this is not a prediction at all. So that leaves Biden with 257 electoral votes to the Republicans' 235. Biden needs 13 more. So what is that state? I think that state is the state of Pennsylvania. This is a state that in 2016 it had the second highest margin. The second highest margin for Donald Trump. Then in 2020 had the second highest margin for Biden. So, Wisconsin most conservative, Pennsylvania moderate, and then Michigan most liberal. So this is the middle state, the more moderate state. And Biden, it's extremely unlikely that he will win the state of Pennsylvania at this point in time. But he really, really, really needs it. And, this is his path to victory. And he will see this. He will see that this is his path to victory. And he can put out ads. He can campaign there, classic political campaign stuff. And he will focus on the state of Pennsylvania, but he really needs to focus on the white working class. The white working class lost him the election of 2000. That lost Hillary Clinton the election in 2016, and he needs to return them, and he will do whatever he can to get them back. So Wisconsin, the most conservative of the blue wall, that's most likely to go Republican. Again, Joe Biden will energize African Americans in 2024. He hasn't passed the voting rights bill. He tried to, but it was blocked by Congress. Georgia will go Republican, and Nebraska's second, which is shifting right, that will go Republican. So this is Joe Biden's path to victory. Key states he needs: Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, and if you will, Minnesota. So thank you all for watching. And by the way, that leaves Biden with 276, Republicans 262, very narrow. And again, this is not an election prediction. So thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all tomorrow.